the road looked okay past the bathrooms there, but it didn't last very long. So we know how to do a 3-point turn in this space right here, if you look out. Which means I actually dropped into low, which you do by sticking the car in neutral. So we're going to pull it back up, out, and park it up there, and then hike in. And this is still going to be interesting. So we wanted to make sure I'm in low now, so the car jumps more. I had to get into low gear to be able to do it, so we'll probably switch to... Well, we may stay in low actually, because this is going to be uphill, so... This is the kind of shit where you get stuck in the rut. Well, you don't get stuck in it, but you kind of fall into it. The wheel will slide into the rut. So as long as you have the clearance, you're okay, but if you don't have the clearance, you're really screwed. So as the word goes, nice and slow. There we go. That was the first one. If you ever felt like being Indiana Jones for an afternoon, try this. This should make every man happy. And some girls too. Here we are. We're hiking. So we just went up and parked the car at the beginning of this trail and then walked down, and we just came upon the spot where we had to do the 3-point turn. It's nice to have a small little Jeep for that purpose. We just realized it isn't really a huge space. So probably a good choice to walk. We'll see you at the end. So we have an evergreen here, which obviously isn't at the coast. Some ferns, lots of those. Lots of birds. And if I'm not mistaken, I can't see a flower on it, but that tree looks like a tree right in front of us. So here, right here, so that's the big one behind us here, right in the little gap, that's huge. Some flowers in that. And lots of ferns. This area is a lot like Volcano on the Big Island. A little bit of elevation. So that was the first 2.2 miles of that stuff. It wasn't, I mean, it's not that it wasn't pretty, it was nice, but it was that stuff, kind of ruddy. And that took about an hour. So now it looks like we're at the boardwalk. I see signs of that, and there's quite a transition here, so Looks like we made it to the boardwalk, which is an hour and a half in and an hour and a half back. So let's get on with it. This rainforest has a couple of very special birds that live only here. I forget the names. They're long Hawaiian things, but I never heard that thing before, but that doesn't mean it's one of the rare birds, but it sure sounds like it. I don't want too many missteps. We're stepping on this little, what is it, 1x4 or something like that? 1x6. And was one little misstep and you're down there with a little water trickling down. So, let's see if they could find you here. Okay, 3G, 2 bars, 1 bar. Theoretically they could find you. But, wow. You gotta be agile for this one. Oof. This trail is very nice and tight. About 90% of the vegetation up here is native Hawaiian plants. So the old medicine men and women would probably have to come up here quite a bit to pick out things to keep their populations healthy. Because it's amazing what you can find once you know what you're looking for. Something like this, you know, might be useful in its smaller size. If you make a tea out of it or whatever, and then you put it on, and there's all sorts of rules and regulations. Here's another fern shoot that's coming up. So you just don't know what you're looking for, but we took a trip with a botanist in Maui, Hawaiian botanist, and it's amazing what's out there that you just don't know unless you know. But anyway, 90% of these plants are native up here, native Hawaiian plants. So they're trying to keep it that way. That's why the Nature Conservancy went in and grabbed this piece to protect it. It's too bad their hikes are always full, which is why we're here now, but their hikes are always full. So one fine day, we'll book a year in advance. Wow. Wow, this really is a bog. I grew up in Northern Europe in areas with bog. This is bog. This is really bog. This is like Denali National Park type bog. Wow. So up here at 4,000 feet we still have some mohia growing. And then we have these little interesting things with the pink berry flower thingies on them. And there's grass here. And a bunch of other stuff. But anyhow, let's continue along, and I guess we're out of the ferns, so it should be a little quicker to get to the end now. But beautiful it is. See little clouds coming in, so hopefully we'll get some kind of view out the end. But that was nice. I guess my shoes are not totally waterproof. Oh, yeah. It's wet in here. It wouldn't want to be too heavy on these trails, like even this way. And we almost took a little slip down this stuff, even if it's covered in this great aluminum stuff, which is really good, because this stuff you can't even begin to walk on. But even with this stuff, when the moss is up high enough, it doesn't grip like it should. So we have to be very, very careful as we walk back, you know, whenever we're going downhill. Because again, you don't want to break your neck down there. It's not what you want to do on vacation. But it's beautiful in here once you get in deep.
Right here is what we presume is a pig enclosure. Keep wild pigs out. Or in. Anyways, on one side or the other, they want to keep pigs away to keep them from destroying native vegetation.
We call this semi-sketchy trail here. It drops off straight down. There's nothing really to hang on to, except a random fern.
Bunch of ferns, yeah.
And yeah, you want to know your hiking boots in these places. Don't buy a pair right before you come.
Oh my God. Woo.
That is quite some view.
What do you think?
Shaka. That's the ocean. Look at the ocean way down there. Mahalo Keakua right here. Mahalo Keakua. Cheers. So we want to get off the trail before too much of that stuff is coming in. Up here you don't know if it's temporary or more permanent, but late afternoon things tend to get sucked in, so it'd be a good thing to not walk home in the rain all the way. But we'll see. It's gorgeous.